Evening all. I thought I'd do some reading from book 2 of poetry I've written. I wrote this poetry probably over 2 weeks. Never written it before. And a glass of red. It helps. Apologies for the music in the background, I always do like it. It's just a YouTube mix. Let me just turn that down a little. Anyway. Book 2. Sorry. That was book 1. Let's have a look. A land of red dust, sun so bright, our beaches white. Deep water surrounds, life so colourful, you think neon lights swimming just under us. With ranges, with valleys, with wide open space, rocks so high they reach for the blue of our sky. Stones that look like they're about to crush like a wave. Thousands of stones so round could pop like bubble wrap. I hear a cackle, a laughing kookaburra, sound of hooves, wild brumbies race through the trees of Guy Fawkes. I love this country, the ranges, the valleys, the wide open spaces. At night, rest my head on the swag of my bed, look up to pointers and across. This is our land of red dust, white beaches and neon-coloured fish, our sulphur-crested cockatoos, endless plains of bounding kangaroos. Our land, my home. A knock on the door, that's all it was. I was called here, I was asked to come. A smile on the face, a slight curl of the lip. From nowhere it came, weapon in hand, I was tricked. They wanted blood. To them, this is fun. A light blown out, darkness now spreads through my head. From words once said, fight for a life once bright with passionate light, now darkness spreads. Lies once said, one-sided thoughts from people once friends. If only they listened to the passion I had inside my head. A life once bright, now dead. Because of one-sided thoughts from people once friends. My hopes, my dreams, ransacked, now dead. A light blown out, darkness now spreads through my head. From words once spread. A life-size Ken doll. That's all they want. A clone of a man so all can belong. A life never-ending, repeated reps and sets. I have rounded edges, a muffin top, facial hair, no straight edges. 2 communities, we all don't fit in. Where do we belong? One group say they are happy and free, the other so caught up in lies, beliefs, force the happy to hide. Where do we belong? I did a walk last night. Same street I have walked many times. These streets have known our pain, our blood. I shared history of who we are. The pain, the blood spilt because the clothes we wear, we have a spring in our step, or we are different in some small way. Last night we walked the street, we stopped traffic and marched to a beat. Others lined the streets to watch and stare. Our individual selves came out with a flare. As a community, we marched to our own beat. These streets, where once we shared our blood and our fears, now lined with people, with smiles and cheers. As we passed, they clapped our hands. With pride, we washed away the blood and fear of our streets. As a community, we all marched to the same beat. Sue, very disappointed, but no, just disappointed. A Canadian girl, a man from out of town. We both had our signature dance when we were out on the town. Halloween parties that us Aussies cannot seem to match. This Canadian girl, she builds it all from scratch. This Canadian girl, this man that came in and out of town. What fun we used to have. A Canadian girl. A wing lady, I called her once. But then a postman, she did fall in love. The letters she finally redirected, she found out he was posting others' affections. On stage she did have a presence. Her attire she gave many a man a frontal desire. A man that came in and out of town caught her affections, and a Bali date was where he finally wed her. Me and my signature dance with no wing lady to help me find my man. I'm happy. She's happy. My Canadian girl found romance. A ski trip with a flare happens every year. Mount Hotham inundated with people from everywhere. What makes this ski trip special? Not just the slopes, it's the people. Naked snow angels popping up here and there. Brown Brothers wine kept cold on the balconies with fresh snow. Frosty Fruits ski trip, the place to go. With like-minded friends, we all head for the snow. If you board or you ski, an open fire. You're amongst friends. Or laugh at our past days' events. A ski trip with a flare happens every year. Mount Hotham inundated with people from everywhere. Points of difference. That brings us all together. Steve, this is for you, mate. A man with a smile, a gentle tower of a man, shatters all fears with his love of hair. He sees the wind-blown look, a wake-up look, the one where fingers are raked through your hair. He sees this so quick as you walk through the door, you would be mistaken if you think the therapist just cuts hair. Turn around and take your old look elsewhere. With a snip of the scissors, not just a scissor sister here. He can cut, he can curl, he can straighten and perm. His cool tones, a sniptionary of hair terms. His client's not just a way to make money. You sit in his chair, thoughts, stories of bad hair. No flat tops here, like the ones from Top Gun. Hey, I used to have that. There's nothing wrong with that. He can cut, he can curl, he can straighten and perm. His cool tones and sniptionary of hair terms. His fingers find your true roots, brings your hair and personality alive. A snip snip here and a little clippering there. Don't worry, your therapist knows where. Esteban's on Wheatley's in Mayland. Peace, love, joy, and amazing hair. Always a good job, Steve. Thank you very much. Nice bottle of wine too, by the way. Masala I don't know. Anyway, a bit sweet, but it's not too bad. A coffee shop I once remember had smiles from staff as you enter. So much to choose from. The breakfast bruschetta, always calling my name. Whenever I can, I came. A coffee shop with staff that know my name, Lulu's on the foreshore. A place for coffee and cake. Lulu's on the foreshore, my place to get away. Is any more I want to turn black? I can run, I can hide, nothing is forgotten. The words said can no longer be forgotten. When a home is broken, nothing is forgotten. I can run, I can hide, nothing is forgotten. The sun still shines, will still come up from the east. Nothing is forgotten. Words said cannot be forgotten. You can scream, you can yell, things will never be forgotten. You can write your letters, beg for forgiveness. Can things be forgotten? Locks on the door, chains on the gates, words about friends, cut deep, once said, can never be forgotten. A face in a book, a crumpled bit of paper, words still echo, and nothing is forgotten. So going back now. Back to that which I am not. So going back now. Back to something everyone wants. So going back now. Back to where my heart will break. So going back now. Back to that which I'm not. So going back now. Back to where all others are happy. So going back now to no family I know. Oh, just stretch the leg a little. Oh. Sorry, a bit too much leg there maybe. With family lost to lies and mistrust, given to ones we once loved, lies and mistrust. No longer open, closed forever, lies and mistrust. Family ties easily broken, ties so thin, lies and mistrust. Hard to overcome, things undone, lies and mistrust. Family lost from lies and mistrust. A place away, a place to stay, of rest and relaxation. For those that wish, a place to pray. It was a weekend getaway. A place to go with a good mate, reflect in quiet surrounds of past events. Dinner with the monks, so quiet. A monk reading from diaries of abbots past, more time to remember the day's events. Silence. Be thankful of the food and everything that surrounds us, all that has been provided. The cost of this meal, the price, the payment, one would say, those things just provided. Payment lifted from that inner space, a place we glow and radiate. I felt it pulled from that space as the meal was served. As I poured a glass of wine, the payment pulled from the glow of that inner space. The witness, anyone who saw, a smile on my face just came with every plate. Payment taken, I know not from who. A song of my heart will echo forever in the halls, where I had dinner with the monks. 66 now. I don't like a half a glass of wine. Who does? It frees the lips and allows you to speak. Feel it still. Portugal, the man, Woodstock. That car's on fire and I'm so sad. too much leg. Jim, this one's for you, mate. He came from out of the blue. I think I found him online. This man who would look to the sky for advice. A lover. A friend. A one-night stand. Someone I turn to for advice. I looked to the sky, yet nothing I could say or do. It returned no advice. I looked to this man with all I could say and do, and from his heart poured all the advice. To me the sky was empty and held back. Its help and secrets that others fought for, the heavens to me closed. I just looked at the skies. I just smiled. The blue of a new day, the lights that shine at night, the only advice. I will always look at the sky with a smile and see its ever-changing light. My advice came from a beacon of light, from a man who shines so bright, the darkness retreats from his light. If the waves so high do crash around me, I know I'll see his light as a beacon for advice. Sorry, just scratching my nose. The wood, the bridge, the drive. You'll find a bully of a wife. I'm not clumsy. I'll repeat that. I'm not clumsy. The chairs, the fridge, the washing machine just hate me. Landlords put them up to it. When you've lived with a bully for so long, it becomes second nature. So glad I'm not hanging around the wood, the bridge, the drive. An abusive situation you'll find at the wood, the bridge, the drive. The husband on the couch spills the beans, recording as of how he has a bully of a wife. I found out firsthand. She yells out how I fuck my only friends. I'm glad I'm not hanging around the wood, the bridge, the drive. This bully of a wife. Hero, hero, got. On these three. Got. Come together. Right now. Over me. At the lights, just ahead, my perfect man. Height, inconsequential. The colour of skin, a beautiful hue, my perfect man. A scent from his direction, strong and intoxicating. A reach for his shoulder, just a touch. A thought so stimulating in its resolve, my perfect man. He turns to look, I pull away. Only a face in the crowd, a life I can never have, my perfect man. A flashing green light, we walk our separate ways, just ahead, a perfect man. My hands back in my pockets, will we ever be free to be who we can? No one to blame, but me. Well, this is probably true. I'm drunk. I'm just wanting to know how much love you have. I know. It has only ever been a one-night show. but I'm drunk. I'm just wanting to know. Yeah, I think I'll miss that one. It's a bit too much for me tonight. So say it is not so. The truth is not out, held back so no one will know. Say it is not so. Hide behind your veil of shadows so thick with lies the heart can no longer penetrate. Say it is not so. A cop stole my heart. I could never come clean, a past of pain that lasts. The look and feel of masseur from a Darwin hotel massaged my heart. The fears from the past would soon be gone too fast. The blood and fears from the past I could never wash away. So I gave up my heart to a cop from Darwin. A soul now darkened from fear of my past, the white, the truest part of my heart, put on canvas with visions from my past. A strong hand on my shoulder, a man always there for advice, a mother holding a child in a brace of love. As our past is fixed in one place, don't try and move it, change your perspective of it. The white, given to a cop who stole my heart. The white's a painting I did, by the way, and gave to the man. A cop that stole my heart. I wonder if he still has it. It's very interesting to know. I walked away. Anyway. Oh, sorry. Bit too much leg. Mrs. Sparkles. Mrs. Sparkles and her magician. Such love you have always given to those who are in need. To me, I've always seen a couple who have finally found each other. You became such good friends to me and each other. A couple who struggled and found love and good friends. Mrs. Sparkles and her magician. Her magician with one trick, he made animals. With a pin, would go bang. A book of love, a book of sad endings. This book was written with glad tidings and happy endings. Mrs. Sparkles and her magician, she found her Prince Charming, and happy ever afters. Stand up. Speak your truth respectfully. Compassion with no attachment to an outcome is not the truth. Your love for each other, strong and forthcoming. My love for you, both never-ending of your bonding. Mrs. Sparkles and her magician in my heart will be never-ending. My love for you both, never-ending of your bonding. Miss Sparkles, her magician, my heart will never-ending. Keep up your love, never-ending. For others, it's a bond we are wanting. Mrs. Sparkles and her magician, such love you have is never-ending. True. My heart's always with you guys. The last one of book 2. Nobody knows the pain you feel when nobody knows. Nobody knows the love you have is all but forgotten. Nobody knows. Nobody knows the hurt you have when nobody knows. Nobody knows when love falls through your hands when nobody knows. Nobody knows when you have to hide when nobody knows. Nobody knows you cannot show your love. Nobody knows. Nobody knows A vote does not show. Nobody knows. Nobody knows when a family cannot share the love you have when nobody knows. Nobody knows marriage will still be forgotten. Nobody knows. Nobody knows when a family is forgotten when nobody knows. Thank you. Hope you enjoyed. Barefoot poet. He's currently enjoying a bottle of wine and wearing a pair of slippers. Good night all. Safe travels. Sweet dreams.